That belongs, metric cap belongs there. This is all those boards we cut 2 years ago, year and a half ago, no, probably 2 years ago now when we tested the sawmill. They were drying here for the last 2 years, but they were in the way for the last 2 years. So now they're here because I can't get to the other barn to store that because of the snow, but that's okay. So I want to take that TerraPro and set it here in front of the Big Bear, pull the front tires off, see if I can break the beads. And then we've actually got some room here to move around like we had planned. You guys remember that steel beam I got, that free steel beam? It's right where I set it a year ago, probably a little more than a year ago. Eventually it's going to go in between these two giant glue lambs, but again, project for another day. I'm bringing these two tires home. These are some used tires that were spares for that Lister and Petter military diesel generator I have up here, but the two tires that are on it now are fine, and this has been sitting up here for several years. Haven't used them, so I have them for another project, which would be a springtime project, which I haven't told you about yet, but we'll get there. Brought in 2 trailers of firewood. What are you eating? Good ball. Got 3 rows deep here of firewood in the mudroom. Brought up a different sofa on this trip. I think I may have mentioned that in the previous. This is eventually going to go in a burn pile, but Cleo's been out here sleeping on it, so it's fine. That may end up in the barn as just a sitting. What are you doing? Come on. Get out. Let's go. Okay, I'm going to go put her in the house. That should work. I don't know why that board is still there. I'm going to move that out. Boy, it got chilly quickly. Just went and had dinner with a friend, neighbor, friend, sure, friend, neighbor, at the end of the road there. Got all the wood loaded. I think I showed you this though. I think I showed you that. But, man, as soon as the sun went down, it is 18 degrees out here right now, and it's a bit brisk. Ready? Listen. You can walk on the snow because it's frozen. Look, I'm not even leaving a footprint. Woo! Man almighty, it got of the nippy. Clear night. Probably can't see any of that. I see my breasts, and clear night. Man, it is no joke. Not leaving barely any footprints. So let's see if I can oh lordy. We're going to give this the old college try. Actually, I'm going to go inside and get gloves because it's just cold enough that I'm going to bust my knuckles on something. And yeah, I opened up my little toolbox / old retired first aid box, and I'm drying everything out because when all this stuff was in that open milk crate, it got soaked, and it was really wet in here, and I don't want it to be wet. This milk crate crashed into my truck. Idiot. Okay, let me go inside and get some gloves. These are wet, soaked and freezing. Holy crap, that's cold. Okay, all right. I like the way this lays out. I'm already regretting having the TerraPro that far back because it's in my way. Stupid. In order for me to break this, I could take these home and use my hydraulic press at home to break these, which ultimately may be the way I go. Idiot. I just used 2 screw jacks. Super excited with how these cables came out. I don't know if you remember, When I brought this thing home, every cable on this thing was just frozen. And I have a video on my DIY cable oilers. That'll work you up into a bit of a sweat. Both these tires have some cracking on the sidewall, which isn't a big deal because this isn't a high-speed quad. The tread looks really good, so it's in my best financial interest to, these don't have brands on them. I have no idea how these are. They've probably been on here for, you know, I mean, it's a 40-year-old 40-year-old quad, right? 36, 30-something, whatever it is. What is it, an 87 or 1988, something like that? I wouldn't think these are original, but you never know. They've definitely been on there more than a decade. That I do know because this thing was sitting, I think 10 or 12 years before I got it a year and a half ago. I think I got it a year and a half ago, roughly. I don't have my cheat sheet in front of me of all my dates, but either way, these tires leaked. I sprayed everything down with soapy water. It wasn't the core, it wasn't the beads. I don't know where the air was coming out of. It didn't like pushing snow. They'd go flat really quickly when you put them under workload pushing snow. But if they sat on the quad just sitting, they could last 2 days. They could last half hour. I don't know, doesn't matter. They're going to get inner tubes from this point forward. I'm not painting the rims. And that's it. All right, thanks for watching. Gotta go, gotta run. See. It's a nighttime. Neighbors think I'm cuckoo. It's late night. But
So something went wonky with the audio right in this part of the clip and all the way to the end of this video. So I'm going to go ahead and do a voiceover. So far I'm pretty happy with these inner tubes. We're looking at the end of February right now, and they've been holding air for about 3 pounds. They've been holding air at my house for almost a month. So by the time you see this, I'll have already made a trip up to El Rancho, and these tires will already be back on the quad. I'm a little behind if you haven't figured it out on videos, but these eBay tubes appear to be pretty well built, decently built for what they are. They were, like I said, I think they're about 18 bucks for the pair. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier in this video, but fairly inexpensive for this size tire, way cheaper than replacing these tires. Yeah, there are a couple cracks in the sidewall, but it'll be fine. The tread is perfect on these guys, and these tires are expensive. They're almost as much as a regular car tire, which is crazy. So the tubes were a good affordable option. Now here I am cleaning the rim. You know, the old Steve would have painted the rim and probably painted the drum on the TerraPro, but the new Steve is not as dumb as the old Steve. However, the more I watch this video, the new Steve's still pretty dumb. Look at me wiping down the tire. I mean, why? Why? I don't get myself sometimes. Then I'm going to wipe the inside of the rim too, that no one will ever see. I so these eBay tubes seem to work out well, and like I said, by the time you see these, I'll already have some miles on it. But even with the cracks in the sidewall, they'll be fine. It's not a high-speed rig, and they'll be fine. They'll be fine. They'll hold together. Look at the knobs on them suckers. So there you go. Just maintaining some Rancho equipment. I don't know. I'm saying something ridiculous here, I'm sure, and the audio is cut out. So I got to check my camera here and see what's going on. But appreciate you guys watching. Really do. Gotta go. Gotta run.